Blue Jay, I got a question for you. Have you seen the girl that does the puppet content cops? She's very good. And that's what we're going to do tonight. I want to show you this girl. I think you're going to absolutely love her, Blue Jay. I stumbled across her earlier today, and I think that you are going to like this. This girl does commentary videos using puppets, and the channel's called Mosty Peaceful Puppets. And she did a whole content cop as a puppet. And this content cop blows away Cameron 305 or 304's content cop. Like, this girl, whoever is doing these peaceful puppet videos, is a very, very talented editor. That's all I'm gonna say. And you're absolutely gonna love this, Blue Jay. And I'm excited to show you this person because I think that you're about to find a new favorite creator, other than me, of course. I'm gonna stay up there, hopefully. But this is so good, and she breaks down a lot of stuff. This video is an hour long, okay? I got time, so, but it does feel shorter. So I'm gonna stop where I can, but I am going to put it on 1.25 so that we're not here all night, okay? Because I tend to stop a lot. So this is a channel called Mosty Peaceful Puppets. Let's take a look at their content cop, Idubbz and Anissa. And I think this is probably the best content cop done on them by far. And I think you'll agree when I'm done.
Down, I repeat, man down.
What we do here is go back.
It stinks like him here. I'm on the trail.
Grab it.
I can't. He's dead. They just left him here. They didn't try to intervene. They did you dirty. I'll give you a proper burial.
Look at the cinematography for her puppet.
He really does stink.
You gotta appreciate it. And she threw him in the trash.
Well, hello. On today's episode of Content Cup, we're going way back.
Also, by the way, she doesn't just do content cops. She does like breakdowns of other celebrities. She did one on Bill Burr that's actually brilliant too. I think this girl's gonna pop off once people find her. So I'm trying to help push her out there because I think that a lot of the way that she explains things is just really good. It's just really, really good. So, and Blue Jay, you're absolutely gonna freaking love this girl. It's very well executed. Just wait, it gets better. This girl like goes above and beyond with her editing. It must take her forever. I think she probably has like a whole team, unless she just does it by herself, in which case, you know, good for her.
Golden age of internet justice, before the World Wide Web Wild West was censored and demonetized, before the judge became the criminal, before one particular figure fell from grace and underwent a Kafkaesque metamorphosis into a colossal hypocrite, burning bridges,
it gives
left and right, and turning
Avenue Q vibes, like Avenue Q vibes for YouTube. That's what I get. If you've never seen Avenue Q is like a very spicy version of Sesame Street that's a musical.
Creators and fans who once built him up. That's right. Our perp today is none other than the fallen former internet icon, Idubbz.
Freezing.
Get your hat, man.
You need that. That's your content cop outfit, dude. That's your content cop outfit, dude. Take pride in it. Take pride in it. Take pride in it. Take pride in it.
Yes, I'm a girl puppet. Which means you get unfiltered, juicy gossip, pettiness, and the kind of fiery, hot energy that could even steam clean out the chronic skid mark stains in Ian Jomhaha's boxers.
Yeah, Avenue Q was
If
a
you're
musical with
confused,
puppets in it.
sit
It was very
tight.
dirty.
It will make more sense in a little bit.
was on
So
Broadway.
grab your Mountain Dew, your tea, smoke them if you got them, or huddle with your wife for a quick struggle sex session on how to feel about all this very, very, oh so important internet drama. For the rest of you, hold your nose, kiss your brain cells goodbye. We're heading head first into a hypocritical hotbed, a cesspool of narcissistic theatrics, moral backpedaling, and a slow-motion train wreck. But before we guzzle all this
Now, I don't think this is her real voice. I think she must be using like a voice pitch changer because she sounds like a child, but I think she's meant to do that. Like she's trying to be like Elmo, kind of, but like a commentary version of Elmo. I think it's cute. It's and she pulls it off because I think she must write all this, and she's a very talented writer too. I'd love to interview this girl.
glorious
She could
tea
be a
and
puppet.
low-cal milk. Can you do a little favor for a little puppet?
For the lady, compliments of the cuck at table 8.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, I see you, but please keep your distance. You're a cuck and you stink. Thanks. As I was saying,
Like that's freaking beautiful. It's Idubbz sitting at a tea table across the hall, sending her milk. It's like the little shit like that. Yeah, I sure hope it's a voice changer, or else we're dealing with a child. But I don't think that I don't think she's a child. I don't think a child would be able to diagnose Idubbz the way that she does. But I mean, she's really good. She's very, very good at this.
a little favor for a little puppet with only 4 fingers? By using your fully equipped human hand, smash that subscribe button, poke it, prod it, lovingly caress it. I won't judge. Just hit subscribe. Thanks. Mwah. Born in beautiful sun-soaked San Bernardino, a more affordable slice of the California dream with golden skies, breezy palms, and
Yeah, I'm sorry. This blows away any fake content cop that anybody else has done yet. Okay? This is I would even dare say this is almost better than some of Idubbz stuff. She's so good at this. Like, it's I don't know how long she's been doing it, but it's a tragedy that she doesn't have way more subscribers by now. We have a grocery bagger sounds like that. It's a dude. Is it bad I had to count the fingers to confirm? Yes. No, you know, you want to, with what happened to Mutahar, I don't blame you. You gotta check everything a YouTuber says these days to make sure they're not lying.
that always feel a little longer.
If I was a Millie.
Little baby Ian Kane Washburn, better known today as Idubbz, popped into the world the right way, with both parents and all the privileges that come with it. He landed straight into suburban softness, safe, quiet, and to him, perhaps painfully unremarkable. A life most would envy, but to him, he had zero interest in lifting anything heavier than a video game joystick or a camera. He was 6'2" and full of, well,
Elliot
no
Roger.
muscle. The kind who might have ended up a school shooter with a rambling
Oh my
manifesto if things went differently.
Yeah. Childhood.
Childhood.
Luckily, the world got Kickstarter crap and Content Cop instead.
I tend to subscribe to the idea that either everything's okay or none of it's okay, as it relates to art. And I would consider music, movies, games, art, right? So it irks me when they say, oh, the Confederate flag in this video game, not gonna work. We're gonna remove this app. We're gonna punish these developers by removing this app. But Django Unchained, we're gonna leave that on the App Store. Sure, the word Washburn is used about 100 different times in the movie, and you have all sorts of racial depictions in the movie.
You know what else I like too is she's not doing, like she's taking this from a different angle than a lot of other creators have, where they just regurgitate the same talking points, but they just give a different opinion about it. She's going into stuff that I haven't heard other creators talk about yet. You know, I don't see anybody else talking about the fact that he grew up in a trailer park or you know, finding pictures of him as a child. I don't know if that's really him or not, or AI, but you know, going into his pictures of his parents and showing that his home life really wasn't broken. So I don't know what he's so upset about. Like, that's what I like so much about this. I feel like she's actually like getting in the nooks and crannies. I can turn it back up to 1.25 though, and it's just because it's so long. I'm gonna try not to play the whole entire thing so that you guys can go watch the rest of it over on her channel. But yeah, it's really good, and I found this and I wanted to show this to you guys.
It could be deemed offensive to someone, but we're gonna let that one slide.
Love him or hate him, he used to be a champion of free speech and consistent. From ancient predecessors like the Three Stooges' painful antics.
My point. What's the matter with you?
To the art of shocking, risky, physical boundary pushing of jackass.
This is the poo cocktail supreme.
Oh god. Oh
This
my.
lineage paved the way for Idubbz to bring his own reckless energy fully online.
Hey, can I get some, boys?
But Idubbz set himself
So
apart
gross.
with a mix of irony, sharp internet culture commentary, and precision-targeted takedowns. His crowning jewel, the Content Cop series, part expose, where he dragged YouTube's biggest hypocrites into the harsh light of day. But here's the twist. Turns out, Ian was throwing stones inside a glass house, and the call was coming from right inside the house.
Stop calling me, you
Listen to me. We traced the call. It's coming from inside the house. You hear me?
The fact that she knows this movie makes me think this has got to be a woman in her late 20s or early 30s, because this movie came out when I was in high school.
It's coming from inside the house.
Hey everybody, welcome
Sure.
back to another episode of Content Cop. As you can probably tell, I can hardly contain myself right now, because today is the day we get to bully Leafy.
Idubbz said he'd bully Leafy, but bullying a bully hits differently. Content Cop was content karma, the Punisher flavor of justice.
Why do you do this?
Somebody has to punish the corrupt.
For in the same way you judge others, you will be judged. And with the measure you use, it will be measured to you.
Matthew, 7-2. I'm okay with that.
Served not with violence or bullets, but with wit, humor, and a mirror held up for self-reflection. Not just ridicule. It was spicy free speech on the menu, and no one was forced to consume it.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna be talking about the kid today. I'm not gonna talk about
Washburn.
teeth. His teeth?
Washburn.
A thing in his mouth? I'm not gonna talk about that. That would be
Washburn.
a thing for me to do. These things? Not gonna do it. Not gonna talk.
Isn't that movie called Inside the House? Or is it literally called the call came from inside the house or something like that? I think it was something like that.
Yeah, nasty thing.
Rather than staying focused on Leafy's behavior, Idubbz engaged in the same mockery of genetic traits like a weak chin or a snaggletooth. Despite clearly benefiting from both genetic and financial privilege, which he still denies, just one example is being able to afford braces, which improved his appearance. So, what could have been a surgical
I sure
strike
hope not.
instead caused hypocritical collateral damage. Naturally, there was some blowback.
Content Cop on Leafy was removed, and that one shocked a lot of us in the YouTube community.
He might be biased because he was standing right next to him as he did it. And they were friends, but he's...
Is the sound acting up for anybody else? Or is it a Sarah thing? Does it sound good for everybody else? I know since I'm using my capture card, sometimes when I restart the video, you'll get like that little sound. But other than that, it should be working fine.
Still makes a valid point.
Of course, I would hope that it would be more nuanced than that, because the whole point is that Leafy was a bully.
Leafy was the actual one that really was bullying.
And so Ian was making this rhetorical point, this artistic, I think there's
Blue
even
Jay
an
says
argument
it's
for
good.
an artistic parody, yeah.
Which is
what they said. What did they say? We make
or-
exceptions for parodies,
Sarah.
scripted parodies.
Scripted satire, specifically. But
So I think that he really is making a valid point, and he even says in the video, I'm going to bully him because he's a bully, and that's how you teach bullies.
Yeah.
And he makes fun of his looks.
Sure, two wrongs don't make a right, as my grandpuppet always said, but in the grand scheme of things, that was just a small part of what Idubbz did.
That's part of that idea that you should love your enemy. So you might say, well, why should you do that? Well, your enemy is going to be your harshest critic. Now, it's possible that if you have a very good enemy, that he will show you. It's a very strange way of looking at
That
the
should be
world.
better.
To think that you should welcome an attack. But this is right.
I'm coming in
saying
and
that
out
with
to
all
you,
due caution,
too.
let's say. The more vicious the attack, the more of your potential hidden flaws might be revealed. The attacks force you to contend with it, to see if it's there, right? To test it, to test.
It's like being told you've gained weight, chosen a harmful partner, or have food on your face. Uncomfortable but necessary, especially when you're surrounded by yes men. Without feedback, self-awareness and improvement may never develop. Public exposure isn't ideal, but it often works.
I have adult braces after my assault. My jaw was messed up, so now I'm having to wear adult braces. Damn, I'm so sorry to hear that, Daniel Screw. That's terrible. Draco never had braces. Oh, wow, I thought it was me. Thank you, EG. Okay, yeah, no, because sometimes, since I do the capture card, sometimes the capture cards delay. I need to reset the sound, like resync up the sound. It doesn't always work, but most of the time it works.
One example of an Idubbz content cop target saying just that.
I kind of think I like deserved that. And maybe that's like dark, like to say, but like I don't feel like I'm owed an apology. And maybe that's because I've accepted it so much that like people always ask me if you could go back in time and like make that never happen, like would you? And I always say no, because I feel like you need to be held accountable for actions. I don't know, like it made me do so much necessary growth, and I think it also changed the entire trajectory of my career and life. I think I would be a completely different person if I didn't have that. I think it like I was on track to just be so on my high horse and like egotistical and like nothing could go wrong, that something going wrong gave me such a dose of reality that like this might not last forever. Like
it's completely valid.
I don't believe a word she just said right there. I think she just realized that she came off looking very bad in that, and she's still trying to cope, you know, still trying to cope with it. But she was a young kid when that happened, so I guess it makes sense. You know, people do grow up, I guess, but I don't know if it's Tana Mojo who grew up or not. I don't watch her, so I don't really know.
Like that specific aspect of the content, you could still appreciate other parts without necessarily endorsing everything that's going on. For example, you might not like Anissa's idea to confront Tana in person, even though she claims it's nothing to be proud of. Her smile says otherwise.
The Tana thing was my.
Oh, that was so long ago.
Was my idea. Was my stupid idea.
Yeah.
I was the one that
suggested like we can go to the place. It's just in San Francisco. I'm like, it is just in San Francisco.
Yeah, that drive and everything, and then
I will say I do think that that's going to be a surprise to a lot of people that it was actually Anissa's idea to go see Tana, because a lot of people say that it was Anissa's fault that Idubbz quit doing the content cop. And it's not. It's, I think that their politics changed. I do think that Anissa is a big reason why Idubbz stopped doing the content cops in the long term, but she was there and she was helping him in the beginning. But she could have just been being like, look, I'm a trustworthy source. Don't I have great ideas for viral moments? And then slowly just turned him into the type of guy that she wanted specifically. And she started wanting to embrace her Muslim heritage. I don't know what she was thinking with that haircut, though, to be honest with you. I just don't.
Security, again, that's like, oh, you can't take your own photos. We'll take the photo for you. And then I was like, oh, no, this is really complicated. Like, this is a difficult camera. You don't want to fumble with this. I'll do it. And the security guy was like really intimidated by this Washburn, you know, DSLR.
Being creative is one thing, but lying so smoothly with a cold, psychotic vibe is something else. Her entitled arrogance really showed when she belittled and laughed at that security guard just for being intimidated by her fancy camera. It was bold, but also pretty nasty. It's like a sandwich with onions. Some people like them, some...
What I'm surprised about is that Tana didn't like recognize Idubbz, but I don't know if you've ever met a celebrity in person. A lot of times they don't look like what you're expecting them to look like on screen. But I do feel like the minute he walked up, she kind of looked at him and was like, "Where do I know that guy from?" Because that's not a typical guy that you'd expect to go see Tana Mojo. But then again, I don't know. He does kind of look cuckish.
Don't. Maybe you don't. So you flick them off and you move on.
Thank you, Draco.
Unless you're a full-blown Karen throwing a table-flipping tantrum over toppings.
What the?
Washburn.
I asked for extra guacamole.
petty contradictions made up only a fraction of his content. What we're about to dive into is the surprisingly deeper and far worse hypocrisy he slid into after Content Cop. To be clear, the real Content Cop, not the incoherent whinge fest it turned into. Yes, it was brutal back then, but it wasn't incoherent, deranged, emotional dumping, and driven by half-baked politics. Ian claims he turned a leaf, no pun intended, but that's not entirely accurate. We'll come back to that. First, let's examine more of his past. Now, let's get this straight. Ian references growing up in a trailer park as if it were inherently negative. Without any real context, it just comes off as performative and kind of empty. It's not exactly Dickensian misery. Many trailer parks are actually wholesome, close-knit, even gated communities.
I know, I can't even afford to live in a trailer park if I wanted to. Like, I can't afford to buy a trailer. So, again, tell me anything California, okay? I think that's perfectly fine. And I do think it's insulting of people who live in trailer parks. Because if there is a trailer park around my area somewhere. I don't know where it's at, but I've been there when I used to, like, do, like, assisting of UPS deliveries. And it was beautiful. It looked like just, like, regular houses. They just were small trailers instead. And it was, like, a very nice area. So I don't know where he's like getting this idea that I think he just does it to try to sell this idea that he was like poor at one point and he had to go through tough times to survive or some ridiculousness like that.
While some of us grew up facing real struggles, not just swaying trailers and creaky floors. This photo shows the truth. Those braces, they're expensive.
Where did he even find this?
Orthodontist work is far beyond basic dental care and out of reach for many families. They're cosmetic upgrades meant to close a gap and boost confidence for many. It ticks me off when people act like they came from hardship they never actually experienced. It's like rich people stealing even the identity and struggles of poor people. Even Kamala Harris did it.
I grew up a middle-class kid. My mother was hardworking. I grew up a middle-class kid.
Ian references growing up in a trailer park. AOC did it.
Really, just a terrifying place to grow up here. I hear that there are miles of luscious trails going through the forest here.
My mom-in-law lives in a trailer park and it has a pool. I would not be shocked. Yeah, I mean, trailer park people care about their area. Like, I think shows like Trailer Park Boys have given a bad rap to, like, what a trailer park's actually like. Obviously, there's trailer parks, like, in the middle America that would probably, be places where you would expect the more, like, Breaking Bad to take place or something like that. But I think most trailer parks are actually pretty nice places. Those people care about those neighborhoods the same as a suburban place with a home would be, They probably got, what's that, housing committees and stuff of that nature. We lived in a really nice trailer park. We had a huge yard, and our trailer was 2 times more safe than the house we live in now. Yep, I can believe that.
Boy, you can understand why you'd become a communist growing up in a hood like this. Fresh fruit and vegetables, could you imagine growing up like this? Hell on earth.
And so many more. It's either clueless self-absorption or a blatant hijack of hardship they've never truly known.
What about your living situation?
I would say so, probably.
We lived in a trailer park for the first,
I just wanted to pause it here for a moment. Does that look like a nightmare to you? I did not superimpose that.
Look at that trailer park. That is like, it's got palm trees going down the middle. I bet you most people can't even afford to live in. Look, there's double wide trailers. Everybody's got a yard. Everybody's got a car. Yeah, it's tough times you were living, Idubbz. I had no place to skate, man. It was real tough. This guy is such a wuss, dude. He's such a wuss. Such a wimp. Such a wimp. That's all I can say.
It's from the interviewer.
I don't know. I guess 7 or 8 years.
I'm sorry, I just have to interrupt one more time. He doesn't know his age or basic childhood facts.
I mean, I haven't even gotten to that part in therapy or anything, so she obviously had to take care of everything in the home, get us to where we needed to go. I mean, she really had to heavily, I think, rely on my grandparents. I don't even think my grandparents were like that into helping.
Is that Idubbz' grandma? She was a smoke show. Idubbz' grandma was a babe. Or is that Idubbz' mom? Idubbz' mom's was a smoke show. She looks like the Wanda Maximoff. Doesn't she look like the Scarlet Witch? Elizabeth Olsen. That's what she looks like. She looks like Elizabeth Olsen. Look at her teeth. They're gorgeous. Those people had money. They have money. Throwback Thursday, mom and dad. But yeah, Idubbz' mom could get it.
Maybe they were. I don't really remember. But
What's the point of therapy if you're not even getting to the basic facts of your life? You were always so generous and reliable, but I bet you hated it. It's all a blur, but I'm sure it was awful. And now the whole world gets to hear it. You can research strangers online for content cop or cart narcs, but you can't with your own family before it's too late.
You're being a lazy bum. Clean up your room.
It shows a major disconnect, yet he's ready to vilify his father and idolize his mother. Check it out.
when my dad got out of prison, that's when we were able to like move into a proper house. My mom had a lot to deal with, but it amazes me that like she was able to be a single mom with a husband that she's still like, you know, in contact with and like, you know, occasionally visiting in prison and raising two kids. It's like I get worried about getting like a second dog.
Yeah.
It's so stupid.
In the very same
At least he admits it. At least he admits it's stupid. Like, Idubbz wouldn't last 2 seconds with my dad. That's all I'm gonna say.
breath, he pulls the single mom sympathy card while casually dropping that his dad served prison time. He throws his dad under the bus while putting his mom on a pedestal, all for the world to see. His dad clearly served his sentence and came back to build a better life. Inspirational, right? Wrong, because instead of gratitude about his father providing what he calls a real house, a not so subtle insult to the many decent people who still live in trailer parks, he sits there, simmering in self-pity and resentment. Maybe his father connected with God while he was in prison, and that faith carried him through, helped strengthen his marriage, gave him direction, and lately he's been posting about religious events on Facebook. His parents never divorced. They clearly love each other, much more than many other families can say. He doesn't mention anything about his father and uncle founding a family business in 2009, despite clearly sharing the creative talent that runs in the family.
Yeah,
By the way, it's curious how the comic Ian showed in A Content Cop on Leafy closely resembles the artistic style found on his family's website. For some reason, there's only one photo of Ian helping out with his dad's business, even though the rest of the family is actively involved, and his dad constantly promotes the business on every shirt he wears. But anyway, apparently acknowledging this positive connection doesn't serve Ian's preferred self-image. A mostly blameless, relatable victim, so instead he trash talks his father. Publicly. It's possible Ian's father isn't even comfortable with him sharing personal family matters so publicly. Ian doesn't even explain the reason behind the prison sentence, which leaves things open to the worst kind of speculation.
Dude, look at that editing, dude. She's like, I know it's AI, but she's crushing it with the editing, man. She's straight crushing it. Like that looked so cool. It went from a picture to the dad looking disappointed. How long has the echo been on? Hopefully not on mine. Hopefully not on mine. Hopefully it's not echoing over here. I don't see anything there. I'll check though when I play it again and see if it echoes.
Ian claims to have recently gained empathy.
I think only in these past couple of years have I gained the ability empathy. Gained the ability empathy, 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 and I'm very ashamed to admit that. It sounds really pathetic to say at the age of 32 I've acquired empathy.
No echo? Okay.
But I have.
But continues to do stuff like this. 2 years after parading his so-called empathy,
Well, nothing says middle school IQ like flipping the bird at the camera. I remember I used to do that when I was in high school. I'd flip off the camera. like I was cool. It's not cool. You're basically telling anybody who looks at the picture, you know, F you. That's not very nice. That's not nice.
Resurrected content cop, even though he had disowned it, just to attack a friend over trivial political differences. How twisted is that? What's next? A content cop on his own father? I told the whole internet what a terrible dad you are. In this next clip, he talks about his father yet again in a negative way. It involves him and his pet snake when he was younger.
So there was like a situation where it was like, okay, I'm lifting up the dresser so my dad can go in there and get the snake. My dad gets bitten while he's under there. I'm shocked, so I like dropped the dresser. Yeah. Which wasn't a great reaction, but yeah, he exploded on me and like didn't really, you know, definitely made me feel bad for reacting the way that I did. And that was like, that was a memory that I had because it was just very, it was a lot.
Oh my God, dude. This guy wouldn't last 5 seconds with my dad. I still get blown up on regularly every day for like the dumbest stuff. And he still remembers a time where in all honesty, I feel like most of us, if you were counting on your kid to hold the dresser so that you could remove a dangerous animal out of your place, and then you get bit, and then you get your hand crushed by the dresser, or worse, the dresser falls on top of you, I'm pretty sure you're gonna be a little upset. But he's like, I couldn't believe that he was upset at me for dropping the dresser on him while he was getting bit by a snake. I think we've had Idubbz wrong this whole time. I think we've given him too much credit. I think that slowly, as people learn more about what intelligence actually is, we're like more of these older YouTubers that just happened to get on when getting on was good. They're starting to realize just how dumb they actually are.
It as though his father is the oppressor, with no room for nuance. It's an emotionally stunted view. Even when he mentions his father had just been bitten by a snake, there's no empathy, only focus on how he felt. His father's distress is reduced to its effect on him, flattening a complex moment into a one-sided narrative. Ian didn't even say how old he is, because that matters. Was he 6 or 11? It's a huge difference when it comes to responsibility. Most kids would be thrilled to have a pet. I always wanted a dog, but puppets apparently don't get those perks.
And, you know, being raised by a single mother.
He keeps saying single mom, but it's a misrepresentation of the term.
Like, I didn't really fit a lot.
A single, like, he gets my single mom. Like, how hard was it for her? Bro, you had a dad. Shut up. A single mom is like the dad took off and never came back. You know, that's a single mom. Or the dad passed away or something like that. It's just like, oh, woe is me. I had such a hard time. Everybody feel bad for me. And Anthony's over here just being like, yep, yeah, man. I can't believe you had to go through all that with his freaking ridiculous looking boots.
Those norms or those ideas. Chores is a good example. Like, what does a guy do for chores versus a woman? Do you have any ideas?
Yeah, take out the trash.
Oh, because men are gross.
Because they're gross.
They love rolling around in shit.
They stink.
Facts.
It's clear he has unresolved issues with his dad and masculinity, but if he just cracked open a book about the brutal hardships pioneers faced, he wouldn't say such stupid shit.
Washburn.
He'd understand that gender
single.
roles come from common sense, biology, survival. Instead, he gets so personal that he comes across like a delicate, fainting lady, too fragile and resentful even to take out the trash.
Mimi, sweetie, did you throw out the trash today like I asked you to?
No, Mom, I'm doing important police work. Cool guy stuff. Not take out the trash. While many people point to demonetization.
I'm sorry, I love the puppets. I'm loving the puppets. Sue me, I guess. I don't know. I like the puppets. I think the puppets are cool.
As the reason Idubbz shifted toward more politically correct or woke content, he actually puts the blame on his own fans.
I did not like the interactions that I had with fans. There were quite a
Single
few
mom means
human beings that I
just a mom,
interacted
no
with.
dad.
In person?
Yeah, in person, that just sucked. They just sucked because I attracted a lot of people who sucked. Some people were, as I described earlier, were very much like antisocial, weird basement dwellers. And, you know, the one time a month that they come out of their cave is going to restock on supplies at Walmart.
Am I saying that I'm better than you? I guess I'm going a little further than you are. Yeah, I'm fucking better than you, okay? Much better than you. You are garbage.
Making broad
Dude, such good clips. Such a good clip. That's exactly what he's saying too. I'm better than my followers. I'm better than the people I sucked in with my content. Yeah, I'm happy to have them. I'm happy to have their views, but the minute I meet them, I hate them. You know, it's so terrible. I'm liking the video so far, but I don't really care for that voice changer. Well, you know, nobody's perfect. I just took out the trash. Well, Maya, then you're clearly a dude, because that's dude work, I guess.
based on such a limited and anecdotal sample isn't just unscientific, it falls short of even basic critical thinking. But instead of introspection or compassion,
Empathy.
he offers the most belittling judgment without ever substantiating his claims. What exactly is he basing his claims on? Their physical appearance? The way they were dressed? Perhaps they were just starstruck and they're trying to impress him. He's someone internet famous, successful. Okay, maybe they were socially awkward. Maybe because they didn't have all the privileges he grew up with. To his credit, the interviewer calls this out.
Stock on supplies at Walmart, and they run into me, their favorite YouTuber.
Which is kind of the lifestyle you were living at the time.
Yeah, exactly. I don't blame them.
And what would they say? What would they do?
Things that I am certainly not going to repeat. I'm talking bad words.
I'm glad that he pointed that out, because he's got to be sitting there thinking like, well, you were doing all this. You knew who you were appealing to. You knew exactly who the type of people that were watching your videos were. And now all of a sudden you're like, oh no, I can't possibly have these people liking my content. What kind of look did... And this all conveniently happens around the time that YouTube started cracking down on monetization rules. Conveniently. All of a sudden now they're huge leftists. You know, like, I don't know. It's stupid. It's silly. Silly to me. This is just... I think her arguments are great. I'm just saying.
Fringy behavior that, like, maybe I do in a video because I got a camera pointed at me.
Oh, so when you do it in front of a camera and you get paid to do it, it's okay.
Yeah. After having enough of those experiences and being like, these are the people that I'm attracting, these are the people that I'm entertaining, like, I need to reevaluate things. They're relating and enjoying this content for a reason, and that's not maybe the same reason that I'm trying to make.
This just shows how out of touch he still is. And even that's not quite true. He later admits feeling awkward around the very people he mocked at public events.
I'm sure it was entertaining for, you know, some people, so mission accomplished on that front. But when I go to VidCon and the Fine Bros are there, it's kind of like, yeah, hey man, no hard feelings, right? It's
Washburn.
So it sounds like it wasn't genuine enlightenment. It was simply a response rooted in ego and personal discomfort. You're about to hear Idubbz say what privileged people say, like, I couldn't fold a shirt at the Gap. It's a fake humility. What they really mean is that kind of work is fine for others, but beneath them.
I just, like, did not want a normal job. Yeah. That was, like, I think that's a lot of people's incentive. It's like, God, do I not want to, you know, I worked at the Gap.
So you know how to fold a good shirt?
No.
No?
No, they let me go. It was seasonal work.
You got fired from the Gap?
I wouldn't say it's fired. They said,
oh, let go.
Let go because we're done with the holiday season. We don't need you anymore. But if I was a good employee, they would have kept me.
I just want to point out that I do think there's a lot of people who end up becoming YouTubers because they can't hold a job. So they have all day, every day to make as many videos as they want and do whatever they want. As where someone, you know, that works a full-time job and does YouTube has a little bit harder of a route to go because they have to balance trying to make YouTube work or online content work along with keeping the responsibilities. It was easy for Idubbz during this time to make it big. He couldn't keep a job if he wanted to. He just happened to find a job that, you know, that at the right time that got people excited to see him. This is why I think some people should not be celebrities. Idubbz should not be a celebrity. I think he's in over his head. I think that his imposter syndrome is coming full force right back at him, and it's circular, like MP. I plead the fifth on that.
Legoland, and while I was working at Legoland, like I had that job on lock. It was cool. It was just like a standard job. I wanted just like a basic job.
Pick up order!
Do I get my award now?
No, you have to take the tray to the customer.
There is so much hypocrisy in that one interview alone. We could spend all day dissecting it, but let's move on. First, let's address the elephant in the room. I mean the Yoko Ono in the room. I mean the anus in the room. No, I mean Anissa. A lot of people believe Anissa, his girlfriend, now his wife, ruined him.
I've had so many comments of people going like, I know Ian, and I know that he can't be happy in this relationship, and you've forced him to do things against his will.
It sucks to...
Why would she ever go with that haircut, man? I don't get it. I don't get the buzz cut. She looks so great with long hair. Why would she do that to herself?
Admit that in this case, everything people seem to have thought and said about her is apparently true. She is a succubus, and she's gotten everything she can get out of Ian.
That's poisonous. That relationship is poisonous. She's like his entertainment handler. Like she's his fucking career manager now or something. She's got to go, man. She's gonna ruin his life. I guarantee it. Mark my words. Mark my words. That woman is gonna ruin his life.
Sam Hyde called it, man. Sam Hyde was on point with his premonition. He was right. Yoko Ono.
His life. Ruin his life.
Ethan Klein outed him for being a virgin before Anissa.
Cameron? Blink if you understand me.
Cameron has never been in love. At least nobody's ever been in love with him. If things don't change for him, he's gonna marry the first girl he lays. And she's gonna treat him like
Washburn.
Because she will have given him what he has built up in his mind as the end-all be-all of human existence.
You've already...
Dude, that is such a perfect analogy for this situation right now. And that just shows me that the puppet girl has to be like around my age, because there's no way you're quoting Ferris Bueller's Day Off unless you're a millennial.
For being like the first person that Ian's ever been with, right?
Yes.
So in my opinion, what happened was she even told us, she used to always tell her mom, I'm going to be with a millionaire. And so we think that once she
used
kind
to
of got
tell her mom that she would be with a millionaire. How do you know
Her mom
that?
told her that it had to be someone rich.
How did you know that?
Well, she told us.
She would tell us that.
It was, I remember exactly. It was her mom only had two expectations for her to marry someone that was rich and also to be of her religion, right? And so she said that and Anissa goes, well, I mean, I didn't get someone that was of my religion, but at least I got one part of it right. He's rich. And then she like laughed about it, and then he was in the car, and you could tell he was bothered by it.
I was bothered.
Who wouldn't be bothered by that?
Bismillah,
Look at the way she looks at Hassan. She's looking right past Ian, right at Hassan, and look at the face. I've never seen someone this giddy in my life. She is in love. She would drop Ian in a second for Hassan. I'm telling you right now. She is like infatuated with this guy. She loves this man right here. She loves him. And it's just, this is such a perfect representation. Hassan probably actually feels like uncomfortable about the amount of attention he's getting from Anissa with Idubbz sitting right there. This body language is all you need to know. Shoulders shrugged over. He knows that she's obsessed with him. He knows she's obsessed with her. Idubbz knows she's obsessed with him. But Idubbz doesn't feel like he could ever do it better. So, he's just going to let it happen. Because he knows that Hassan ain't going to end up stealing her. He don't want none of that. Maybe for like one night he might, but... That is that is the face of lust right here. The face of lust, if I've ever seen it. Can't believe I just did that. I gotta go find where I was. Here we go. I got it.
Parroting foreign prayers like a trained monkey, while she checks every box on the infidel checklist.
What? I said, do you know what Ian
He
would
doesn't
make?
look like an Ian.
What do you mean? Like what he would be good at?
This is weird, because that looks exactly like Idubbz right here. And the first time I saw this, I thought this was Idubbz.
What? You know, there's like... I'm curious to know. You know, like in Aladdin, you know, Apu, the like little monkey dude who dances on the street for money. You think? Okay, so you've gone from Chris. Your girlfriend would make a great porn star. You know what my boyfriend would make? A great monkey that dances on the side of the road in third world countries.
She won't respect him.
What's up, James?
Because you can't respect somebody who kisses your ass. Just doesn't work.
All the signs of kissing her ass are there, like refusing to take his last name because it wasn't.
What are we talking about, Jillian? We're talking about Idubbz, Anissa, and this girl with a small YouTube channel named Mosty Peaceful Puppets did a content cop on them. So we're kind of talking about the fallout regarding them and how their hypocrisy is finally caught up with them. Welcome to the stream, by the way, Jillian.
For her. She didn't like it. Even though he's lived with that name all of his life, his family still carry the name. It's part of his identity, his history, like it or not. Not only refusing, but forcing him to take her last name. I don't mean really forcing. Obviously, he agreed to it, but it just shows you the lack of boundaries.
Not that it matters, but the only reason why we chose my name over his last name is because his last name is like just objectively ugly. It's just like an ugly last name. Like
True,
Washburn
Summer,
sounds horrendous. Like Anissa Washburn definitely stormed the Capitol. That's how that went.
A Washburn stormed the Capitol. Does she hear what she's saying? Like Joma sounds like something that would be growing on your back. I don't know how to tell you about this, but you got a Joma on your back. We're gonna have to cut that thing off. It's benign though, so that's good. And Idubbz has accepted her constantly degrading him. Yeah, I think he almost likes it. It's almost like it's maybe like a kink for him or something.
I feel like, I don't know. That's like, to me, Anissa Washburn sounds bad.
Washburn is an interesting name with roots in Old English, meaning stream.
Yeah, can you imagine being your in-laws and hearing that? Yeah, your son's not taking my name because, to be honest, I hate your last name. And that's why we're not. I wouldn't be shocked if that's half the reason that. I wouldn't be shocked if like Ian's parents aren't a fan of her, and that's why she doesn't want to take the Washburn name. I'm sorry, but I would not be with someone who made me take her last name or said something about my last name like that. Why would you want to be with someone like that? It's an insult to your whole family tree.
Wash. There's also Washburn University in Kansas and a well-known guitar brand. There's even a special place in Yellowstone's legendary wilderness called Mount Washburn.
Here we are. Mount Washburn. Sharon made it.
What's up, Debbie?
Mount Washburn, 10,219
Lord
feet.
have mercy, drama and changing tradition. That's right. She gives us.
It's also easy to say and spell, making it a straightforward and memorable last name. Unlike Jamha, which can be difficult to spell and may have religious significance due to its resemblance to the Arabic Muslim word for Friday, the sacred day of congregational prayer in Islam. Anissa is essentially its complete opposite. She is openly non-religious, has extensively tattooed her body, and has sold her body online for.
Yeah, to be honest, that is like the complete opposite of like Muslimism, what she does. Also, this is peak Anissa right here. This is her very best. I know some of you ladies hate her, but I mean she was an attractive woman.
narcissistic reason, not financial need. Similarly, when she refused to take Ian's last name Washburn, it wasn't about progress or rebelling against tradition, it was about herself again. Just like before, it came down to control, image, and what she wanted. It wasn't like Olivia Cockburn changing her name. She changed her last name from Cockburn to Wilde after a fellow adulterer, you know, Oscar Wilde, the famous writer, the flamboyant, overweight libertine with a taste for underage boys, both shared a talent for denying their affairs. Even Cockburn is an okay name if you can own it, but yeah, it's more understandable why you'd want to change that.
I can see why you wouldn't want your name to be Cockburn. That joke writes itself, you know. She only claims things when they are convenient for. Yeah, exactly. I'm Irish, so I know a thing or two about being persecuted.
But maybe she wasn't being a narcissist, only thinking of herself. Maybe it wasn't that she was trying to control him, or it wasn't so superficial as the sound of the last name. Maybe it was something deeper and personal, like the word.
Look how much she loves herself. Like, you just saw her with that little image she just did right there. She loves herself. She is a big fan of herself.
Washburn sounds like wash your bum, Ian, because he has a problem with washing, apparently. In this video, she talks about it.
I just want to ask you if you've always been shitting your pants.
No.
Because since I've known you, you've always had, like, IBS. You've always been shitting yourself.
Yeah, well.
She also complains about Ian's mouth hygiene.
But, so, I asked him, because to me, like, honestly, if I were to, like, rate Ian honestly, I would say, like, 9.5. Like, literally, the only thing that would make him, like...
She's so full of it. She does not think he's a 9.5. She thinks Hassan's a 9.5. Or maybe Hassan's the only person who has a 10.
You know, 0.5 hotter is if, like, his breath didn't stink all the time.
So let's be fair. Maybe if Anissa hadn't...
He never cleans his room. I refuse to enter it because he won't let me clean it. Ramonda. Anissa, oh my God, let me tell you something. Anissa, he says it's the least that he can do. His room at his parents smells like trash, dude. Yes, Amanda. Garbage look. Gross. Oh my God. Anissa, yeah, super gross. This is her talking about the love of her life. I mean, I guess you know, I can imagine that she's not the first girlfriend that's ever complained about her, What's up, Kangaloo? Evening just came here from Clout Route. I have no idea what Clout Route is, but I hope you had a good time there. We're talking about... I'm showing these guys a content cop I found from this cool little channel called Mosty Peaceful Puppets. And she's crushing it. Crushing it.
Him down and sunk her claws in, he would have spiraled into something way worse, strung out on pills, addicted to gambling, or blowing his savings on some kind of sex worker. Then again, he paid for where they lived, including the most recent $1 million Seattle house in an expensive neighborhood for a very small house, and a backyard that could barely accommodate a picnic table.
Anissa was so desperate to move to Seattle as quickly as possible and get Ian out of San Diego, away from his friends, away from his family and his support network.
Yeah, she's isolating him.
She decided that they needed to offer well above asking, and they closed on the home.
You're right with her,
at a price point of $1,050,000.
Although
he likely got caught up in a bidding war and due to lack of self-control and sound judgment ended up overpaying. Now he's in a position where he has to sell the property for less than he bought it for, despite the fact that real estate values usually increase over time. Since no one wants to overpay like he did, he's already lowered the price by $25,000. While their empty Seattle house sits on the market gathering dust, they're crashing in the basement of an...
Oh, so you know it, Kangaloo? Yeah, she's awesome. She's really done a great job.
His mom's house in Canada.
Okay, so for those of you who don't know, we're right now in Edmonton.
We're in Edmonton. Whoa, yeah, we're in somebody's basement.
It's just this horrible, dingy, dank basement dungeon. They're trying to pretend it's somebody else's basement other than Anissa's mom. It doesn't make any sense. Like, what? Whose basement are you squatting in?
It's clear. Well, they're in Edmonton, right?
If the $1 million house they lived for a mere 2 years or so wasn't enough, he also paid for her breast implants. Another impulsive decision, something she really wanted, only for her to get bored and remove them shortly thereafter. Unlike her schizophrenic mix of haircuts, dye jobs, and piercings, expensive surgeries and tattoo removals aren't things you can easily undo. I mean, even if you...
Hey, yeah, remember those big expensive bosoms you bought me? Yeah, I think I'm gonna take them out. I'm not digging them anymore. So say goodbye. Hope you enjoyed them while you had them.
On removal, your skin would never be 100% the same. That's one of the few okay things about Islam. Maybe show some respect for the body you were given, rather than treating it like a canvas for graffiti. Then again, that's more common sense than religion. Also, those tattoos are really expensive. They spend so much money on that, instead of putting that money towards something more substantial or beneficial for their future. Some people think Anissa's $18,000 back tattoo.
I don't think there's a problem with tattoos, but I will admit that the just the randomness of her tattoos are what make it look stupid. You know, like her and Ethan just seem like, as Ethan Klein said, I feel like they just were like, I'll have all of page 7 and I'll have all of page 9, you know, wherever you could find room for it. And I think that's what they did. You know, there's no method to their madness. Good tattoos like flow into each other, you know? They all kind of move together nicely. Hers are just sporadic, and so is his. Why would you ever want them gone? That's one thing I will never return. Yeah, I don't know, Daniel's crew. I couldn't imagine returning them either.
$18,000? Is the reason Idubbz didn't attend his longtime friend and collaborator Max Mofo's wedding. Idubbz never gave an explanation for why he skipped it. Meanwhile, Joji even arranged his tour just to make sure he could be there, which made Ian's absence feel even more out of place.
Yeah, I talked to Max about the wedding situation. When he was first sending out invites, I was like really uncertain of how that was going to work out because I had some kind of important plans here in the States, so...
Even grilled puppets revel in a wedding, the unity, the rekindling, enjoying and deepening the bonds of brotherhood, trust, shared experience. Even if it wasn't the back tattoo, there's something very strange about missing the wedding. Another instance of Anissa's controlling behavior was her reaction to a lighthearted joke made...
I don't agree with Anissa's, personality. I just think she's good looking. That's about where my affection for her begins and ends. I think she's a babe, and... You know, that's about it. I'm fine with the boobs the Lord blessed me with. Damn right. All men prefer natural too, by the way. I don't know if you guys know that, but men. The reason why Sydney Sweeney is as popular as she is because she's all natural.
Donut operator, which led to a breakdown in his friendship with Ian, an action consistent with narcissistic personality patterns, where even minor perceived slights can trigger efforts to isolate a partner from external relationships.
So like he went to a range day with me one time, like we used to talk a lot about content creation and stuff. And COVID rolls around, I get bored at home, so I make plans where I'm showing my meat.
Really?
And so, well, basically, I'm taking a steak and I'm rating a steak. And like,
see, that's the reaction that you're supposed to have. Genius.
I thought it was funny. So I'd be wearing like just an apron. Of course, I'm wearing like boxers underneath. I'm
gonna start an OF where I show my meat, and then we're gonna cook some steaks.
Sound like this is my and this is an A5 Wagyu from down the street, and I would talk about it, and I sent it to Ian, and he got mad and called me and like said I was making fun of Anissa, and like I wasn't. I just thought it was a funny bit because I was sitting at home during COVID, and
you'll never understand what it's like to be an ally.
Yeah, it was he like said stuff like that, and yeah. Just like haven't talked to him since. That was like 5 years ago.
Over that?
Yeah, and I've like texted him and tried to reconnect with him. He just won't talk to me anymore.
Isolation is a key element of all toxic relationships. It makes gaslighting more potent if there are no dissenting voices to the narcissistic gaslighters.
It would be kind of hilarious to see them on Caleb Hammer's financial audit. His questions often prompted them to take a hard...
Although Caleb Hammer, pretty sure that a couple of the people he's had on his financial audit were actors, so I don't know how true you can take his show. Debbie says, people need to love themselves and be happy with it. Yep. Amen to that.
Look at themselves.
If she's your co-business head in this, why doesn't she know?
Because she's willing to sit down and look at everything.
Lingerie at the beginning, and I made crazy money off of like lingerie.
Women have made millions off the OF. Listen, you're cute.
Thank you.
The people you'd be competing against.
Are hot.
Her.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, thanks for that backhanded compliment.
You're cute. You're
You're so cute, but you're not that hot.
I did not say so cute. Let's not put words in my mouth.
Sorry. You are cute, but you're not that hot.
What? You're a 6.5. I'm a 5.
It might actually slap some sense into them to get their finances on track.
Caleb just spoke about that. I'll have to take a look at that. About the actors, I'm guessing.
When they were still on good terms, even the clients talked to them about being responsible about money.
Real estate, how to make money.
I don't care about investing all this shit. I just want to know how you're doing. Is that crazy? I want to know if you said you're not making money. Like, what the fuck?
I'm with you.
That's like a huge part of everyone's lives.
Yes.
Well, you need to make money to survive, and you're not the only one that's talked to us about it.
Well, yeah.
We just know that we're very aware that we're fine, and we can do this for a few years without taking any sort of salary.
So why would you do that? I want you guys to take care of yourselves.
Yeah. Well, we are taken care of.
I'm sure Caleb Hammer would be like, you're spending way too much money on subscriptions. That's probably all he'd have to say about me. In the early days before they had a casting director. Ooh.
I can handle things. I'm smart. Not like everybody says. Like dumb. I'm smart, and I want the stakes.
We're smart. We're dumb.
Yeah, but why are you going to dig into your whatever? Okay. See, you all forgot my head.
Because our savings are stuffed. Our savings are well stuffed. So-
That came right on the heels of Creator Clash 2's colossal failure. Ian is still sitting
Just the fact having Moist Critical as a host should be enough to get a lot of people to do this. Freaking Moist Critical. He looks so out of place in this.
thanks to the Content Cop era, and he racked up all the virtue points by branding it a charity event, but in the end it raised absolutely nothing.
Nothing! You lose! Good day, sir!
You're a crook. You're a cheat and a swindler.
Even Ian's coach, the one who personally trained him, eventually spoke out, claiming he was mistreated too by Ian simply because he reminded Ian of his father.
In the first 2 rounds, I was talking to him very softly. I was like, Ian, are you okay? Can you throw punches? If you can't throw punches, I'm going to scrap this sparring. They said, we need to have a meeting. So I have to go to Denny's. And they pretty much then talked about how they were going to have to fire me because I reminded Ian of his father when his father would yell at him as a kid. And so I had to relearn how to talk to him.
He also talks about...
Dude, oh my god, dude. Beta male, the beta. See, this is why I think I'll be famous on the internet. If he can do it, I can, because I'm an alpha chat. But yeah, no, I don't understand. People with these terrible takes, people who think that these are good ideas, somehow manage to find fame on the internet. I don't know if it's, maybe the internet, maybe we're thinking about it wrong. Maybe it's backwards. Maybe the dumber you are, the better luck you have. Maybe I should just completely abandon all logic that I know and just start saying things that are opposite of what I actually believe and see if I take off from there. Because that's what makes sense to me on how these people have done this. Also, this was sponsored by Fansly. It's sponsored by Fansly, which is OnlyFans' competitor. But Anissa's not on Fansly, she's on OnlyFans.
Spending and unwise decisions that played a role in the event's failure. Stupid things like paying for wealthy celebrities to attend the event while claiming it was too expensive to fly in Ian's own father. It wasn't just hypocritical, it was yet another red flag about his deep-rooted issues with his father.
They did that full hotel for 300 creators. They flew a lot of people in. One of the people they flew in was Froggy Tonic, and they flew him in from France.
That's insane.
Yeah, they flew in a lot of people. They rented out the whole hotel for 300 creators. And when we asked them if Ian's dad was going to be there, because he was there for the first event, they said they couldn't afford to fly Ian's dad in. It was too expensive.
Yeah, I know. It's pretty sad.
Ian often talks about therapy with Anissa, but he might benefit from individual therapy to address unresolved issues with his father. Many personal and even global conflicts stem from family struggles, so I truly hope he takes time to reflect, heal, and work toward resolution, for the sake of his own well-being and for the people around him, including his wife, someone he's meant to keep on a short leash, apparently. In her own words, she's about to say this. Yet he seems to relish letting her loose, watching with twisted satisfaction as she lashes out like a rabid guard dog, defending him against threats that exist only in her own mind.
Ian keeps me on a leash. Okay?
Okay.
Well, he should. He really should.
And I'm okay with
that. She's okay with that because she needs to be. Because when she gets off the leash, it's fucking embarrassing.
I need to be on a leash.
Is it time to play Freak on a Leash? Is it time, Andy?
To be on a leash. A tight leash, to be honest. Because I am unhinged that are looking at this right now. I know that you would fucking cry if I said something to you in real life. I know you.
I would probably laugh if she said something to me in real life. I think that she thinks she's a lot tougher than she actually is. I think that she has to convince. I think this is all like a thing that she convinces herself. She gaslights herself into thinking that this is the reality. That if she were to like confront these people, they would cry because that's that's what she has to tell herself to make herself feel better. Blue Jay, this is a complete tinfoil hat theory, but what if the reason why the dad wasn't brought to the event was because Anissa had a fight with him or something? Yeah. I think that they all dislike each other. That's why she wouldn't take their last name. I mentioned something similar to that earlier, Blue Jay. What's up, Kim? I mentioned something about that earlier, that I think that the reason she doesn't take Ian's last name is because she doesn't like that family. They probably had a falling out at some point. She probably like, they don't treat you right, Ian. I treat you right. They don't understand you the way that I understand you. She does need a hug. I do think Anissa needs just a nice hug where she can just cry and just let it all out.
Cry. How do I know? Because I've done it to one of you fuckers in real life, and you have cried.
Yeah, well, you were always the kind of person who was looking for something to put you, to grab you with your teeth and just kind of like, like your dog.
Ian, my boyfriend.
She got the Casey. What's that? Oh my God! Why can I not remember the Florida girls? Casey Anthony. She got the Casey Anthony cut right there. The Casey Anthony cut. Maybe it's best that they don't have kids. Speculation.
Well, I only see that I met him once.
You met him. What did you think of him, though? What do you do for a living?
Lawyer.
Yeah, he owns his own law firm. What did you think I was going to be when I grew up?
Rich.
She doesn't deserve a hug.
You know what I mean?
I feel like also like there was just a lot of things that Ian had never experienced or understood. Like he had never met a Muslim before, and then he ended up marrying one. But like that was something that really changed.
Yes,
I feel like.
Alec, thank you.
Alhamdulillah.
Dude, look, they won't even look at each other. They won't even look at each other for too long because they're falling in love right in front of Ian. Hassan has 100% smashed. I'm saying right now, they've smashed, and Ian watched from the chair that he's in right now.
That's
Bismillah,
yeah, mashallah, mashallah.
I taught him the Fatiha. But there's a video of him chopping a Quran in half. And when my dad was still mentally sane, I was terrified that he was going to...
Do you think that she made Ian sit in the middle because she was too afraid she was going to jump on Hassan while this interview was happening and she needed to have like something blocking her from doing that?
Video of Ian, he's like...
God, I did not know that.
Yeah, he chops a Quran in half with a cleaver. And I was like, oh my God, if my dad ever fucking sees that.
It was less intentional. It was more just random unboxing, and I'm just... That's weird that we sent from an electronics place, and it's the full-blown Quran.
All right, I don't know if I can even show this part just because we're on TikTok, so I don't want to get in trouble on my first time streaming.
Literally murder you.
But yeah, Kafir Americans, you know, so it is what it is.
The word, it is insulting, it is offensive. They are doing it in order to insult non-Muslims and mocking non-Muslims on almost every single social media platform out there with the word. You are trying to get people to join your little club so you can hate on non-Muslims and then exclude them because...
Anissa has talked so much trashy online, but the one thing she's terrified of is her boyfriend, daring to destroy his own property, the Quran. That's right, the religion of peace, love, understanding, and let's not forget the world's most refined sense of humor. I bet the Charlie Hebdo newspaper offices really felt that love when they were actually stormed. When 11 people were murdered, including 5 of the magazine's cartoonists. Cartoonists!
The attackers' shouts could be heard as they escaped.
I'm the one I think has gotten... I'm more extreme than Ian, where I'm like pretty anti-capitalist.
That's pretty scary that those guys could be in a Western country and be taken out just like that for expressing what is considered in our area of the world as freedom of speech.
I hate landlords. I hate the system that we're in. Like, I think the reason why I really like the charity boxing event is because at least we can like find ways to give money to people who actually need it rather than...
Liar! That's Aiden Christensen from Revenge of the Sith.
Anissa's trying hard to win over Hassan Piker, a man who talks like a revolutionary but lives like a king. He pulls in millions preaching anti-capitalism, yet lives in luxury, the textbook definition of a champagne socialist.
That's
and Anissa, no different. She flaunts a Muslim identity like it's a fashion statement, but let's be honest, she's not Muslim.
Telling my dad that I'm not Muslim was probably the hardest thing that I've ever done in my whole entire life. At 6...
Well, that seems like a pretty easy thing. You've had a pretty easy life then, if that's the the hardest thing you've ever had to do. The hardest thing I ever had to do was kick heroin addiction and watch my friends die all around me while I was trying to kick it. Yeah. So if telling your dad that you're not Muslim is the hardest thing you ever had to do, you had a pretty nice life, Anissa.
I sat my dad down and I had a talk with him, basically telling him that I no longer wanted to be a part of Islam. I didn't want to be Muslim anymore, and I just wanted to be agnostic or spiritual. I don't really know what the word is. It's limitations on friend choice, clothing choice, behavioral choice, food choice. You can't eat pork, you can't. And wanted us to pray when we were readily available. We were raised very Muslim, and I really wasn't exposed to the Irish side of my family because my father wanted to raise us.
I'm actually like 50% Irish. I pee on myself in the shower. No, I've been peed on. 25% Italian and only 8 Arab. So she's 50% Irish, 25% Italian, and only 8 Arab. Her skin is whiter than mine, all right? That's all I'm going to say. She got porcelain skin.
Much in the Arab culture and in the Muslim faith.
On one hand, you can really sympathize with the fact that she was alienated from her own past by her own mother, but knowing how aggressively she acts and how calculated her public presence can be, maybe your compassion should feel misplaced.
Are you kidding me? This privileged went to Ireland when she was 15 or younger? She's playing both sides of the fence. You can't trust her for anything.
Here comes the aeroplane.
Check that out, more braces. Everyone's got braces. It's like she is such an attention seeker, she'll try every angle. There's her mom looking bitter as you would expect. Maybe she was wild in her youth, rebellious, lost, struggling with a troubled identity, and difficult parents. Then when Muhammad came into her life, he gave her the structure she needed. He put her on a leash. Apparently that leash wasn't short enough because she started to live vicariously through her own unstable daughter.
I want to know where she found these videos at. These are some, I mean, this is stuff I've never seen in another documentary that this puppet girl found.
Really involved with her daughter's online presence in a very undignified way. Maybe Muhammad was too busy being a lawyer, earning the nice life that they lived, instead of keeping a closer watch on his bored housewife and wayward daughter.
Oh, shoot. Anissa's mom was literally on Twitter in a Twitter thread, openly saying, like, discussing me being kicked out of the event. I was like, I'm about to get kicked out of the event. Like, I knew at that point, like, I was going to get kicked out of the event if Anissa's mom was talking about it. And she said I was an imp, and I was just like, it was just something stupid. I was just like, rather be an imp than a pimp.
Like mother, like daughter, this is the type of selfish, emotional instability that led to the crash and burn.
The table slaps always get me. She's yeah, and as I said before, she has this happened to just be one that I came across first, but she has a lot of other good videos on her channel as well that I would highly suggest going to check her out. Mostly Peaceful Puppets is the name of her channel. I'm gonna tag it in the description. I had the same amount of sympathy for her than Idubbz has for anyone. Yep, probably. No empathy.
Creator Clash 3. It was branded as a charity, but at its core, it was all about Anissa. If they genuinely cared about helping people, they just donate the money quietly. She's a giant hypocrite. She and Ian are like 2 peas in a pod.
The thing is that he's doing like YouTube boxing now, and I planted this seed in his head.
Oh, sorry. Ian denies that claim, but it's pretty obvious that he did plant that seed deep inside of him, bent over. All right, that was a little unnecessary and gross. The fact remains, both Ian and Anissa let their personal grudges and unchecked emotion drive choices, like banning Sam Hyde and others, a counterproductive move that accomplished little beyond creating division and...
To clarify, I bought 5 front row tickets and found out a few hours before the event that I was banned, so... out about 11.5K. Also, security was walking around with pictures of my face and bothering some people about wearing my shirts, and the cameramen were told to avoid entire sections and the crowd rocking my shiz. Could you imagine how much different all of this could have been if Sam just was allowed to come to Creator Clash? Could you imagine? Maybe none of this would have happened in the first place.
Tone of the entire event. Creator Clash 3 was supposed to be a redemption arc, but it never even got off the ground. They clearly learned nothing from the last disaster. Instead of promoting and focusing on the event, Ian and Anissa allowed their manic impulses and narcissistic emotions to take control. They fired up Content Cop just to attack former friend Ethan Klein, dragging the whole Israel-Palestine conflict into the mix, tainting everything with needless political drama.
Clean up your room.
One of the exasperated fighters who bled, sweat, and worked harder than both Anissa and Ian combined finally talked about the negative effect that Anissa and Ian's selfish actions had on him too. This guy has not had the success that Ian has had. Can't just bounce back from
Blue Jay posted her channel in the chat. Go check it out, guys.
Something like this easily. Unsurprisingly, it's yet another example of Anissa as the emotionally controlling dominant force. Ian probably just checks out completely, or he's hiding behind Anissa in the darkness.
Hey, take it easy. Your boo's not gonna bite.
It sucks. I put my heart into this. I got freaking beat hard this year, harder than I ever had.
When I said we're all kind of confused by this, I was sharing the sentiment of a few fighters that were genuinely confused as to why Ian and Anissa made this video.
Then, the next day, Anissa texts me a screen grab of my donation, and she says, "Is this real?" Anissa took that as I was supporting her enemy that she has chosen, by the way. Ethan and Adrian are not my enemy. So then she
must have done tons of research. Yeah, I think that she really crossed her T's and dotted her I's on this one. I think, and like I said, I think this is a much better content cop than what Cameron did. Cameron just restated all the stuff that everybody already knew and just gave his own opinion. But, you know, the Puppet Girl's bringing out stuff that we haven't seen yet, which has got to be really hard to do at this point, because, you know, everybody's covered this, like, every aspect of this, and she still found a way to make this something that I haven't heard before yet or seen videos of yet. Like, I didn't know Ian grew up in the trailer park, or I didn't know, I never seen pictures of his dad, or didn't know that Anissa's mom was like Irish. I mean, like actually from Ireland. So a lot of really good stuff here. Lots of really good stuff.
Anissa makes me feel guilty and bad.
I know that you would fucking cry if I said something to you in real life. No, I know you would cry.
Wouldn't. And she's like, "Oh, I can't believe you would do that. I'm 44 freaking years old. This is childhood high school garbage." Talking about this camping trip. The trip was set up by my coach as something he wanted to do in his life. He likes camping. And he thought, hey, you and Ren from Corridor and I trained together. Ian's like, hey, I want to come. Ian came down from Seattle. So Ian and I are walking around getting firewood, and he's like, yeah, Ethan said a bunch of stuff about me and Anissa, and I need to respond to him, so I'm going to make a content cop.
This is who Ian really is. This is actually who he's always been. A conniving, backstabbing, resentful, mean girl.
And female bullying can be unbelievably vicious, and usually it takes the shape of reputation destruction, innuendo, and gossip.
True.
It's well documented.
Do you remember our first interaction?
No.
You don't?
No. I have very bad
Yeah, she
memory,
does deserve more subs, I agree.
What do you think?
Did I snub you or slate you or something? What did I do?
Your memory's that bad?
Yes.
You don't remember?
I do not remember.
Okay.
Ian is so consumed by resentment and grudges that he obsesses over.
Well, make sure if you guys go over and comment on her video, just tell her that you found her through me, all right? Maybe we can get her on and talk to her.
Unable to let them go even after 6 or 7 years. It upsets him so much that Sam, who triggered all of this emotion, barely remembers the incident. It's the kind of thing that you see with narcissism, where every slight feels like a personal attack, and they just can't let it go because it bruises their ego too much. It's like that story with the snake and his father. He remembers the pain that he felt, and he doesn't put it into proper context.
Do you remember...
What was it?
Do you remember making a Kickstarter TV?
Yes.
Of, well, no, it wasn't Kickstarter TV. You remember making a pony game?
Yes.
Okay. There were some creators at the time who made videos about this fake pony project.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Were you one of them?
I was one of them.
What did I do?
Do you have any guesses?
Did I say fuck you or something?
No, you copyright claimed the video.
Really?
Yes. And then you sent me an email.
That might not have been me. Oh,
you don't
okay.
think so?
I sent you an email.
It kind of seems like something that you would do.
I mean, I don't do most copyright claims. What was the email?
The email was, I will release the copyright claim on your video if you can send me a video of yourself squatting 200 pounds below parallel. What?
It's oh, it's so funny though. It's still pretty funny. Why don't you just do it? Just do it.
Why didn't you do that? You'd be so much stronger now if you'd done that.
Yeah.
Damn. Did I create an enemy with that?
I mean, for a period.
Damn.
I didn't like you.
I'm sorry.
You were an asshole.
I'm sorry, buddy. That's not good.
Yeah. Why'd you do that to me?
I don't know. I can't even remember what your video was. So maybe I was pissed off or something. I don't know. I was trying.
A copyright claim too. Not even a copyright strike. He copyright claimed the video. He didn't copyright strike the video. And Ian was this upset about it, which shows you that it's probably money that is the root of all evil here for him.
Not have that ruse get blown though.
Right.
So maybe that had something to do with it.
That probably did.
I'm sorry. I don't remember that.
Yeah.
Damn.
That's what led to this day today.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
So are you gonna punk me?
You're getting punked.
Really? How are you gonna punk me?
I'm gonna make you look like an asshole.
Really?
Which isn't hard to do.
Of reputation destruction, innuendo.
He was being serious there. He was being really serious there. Ian did not like Sam at all. And I'm pretty sure Sam liked Ian up until this point.
It seems that statement was defensive yet strangely honest. And then it's like he realizes that admitting it backfired. It makes him look like a slime ball, especially since Sam, at least on the surface, seems genuinely open to understanding and resolving their issues.
Is that really the case?
No.
Okay.
It's meant to be, well,
Sam,
I mean,
is your celebrity
part of me
crush?
feels like you might be being disingenuous by saying you don't remember.
Well, then I don't want to hear crap about me thinking Niece is hot if you're into Sam. Sam's a cool dude, though. I wouldn't bang him, no.
I legit don't remember. 100% serious.
Really?
Yeah.
You just like, is it because you're, doing so much that you just sort of forget all the bridges you burn and all the like people you fuck with?
Did I burn a bridge with that?
I could have been, but I'm a resilient person, so I turned that
I'm
hate
resilient
into a passion for filmmaking.
And I'm brilliant.
Which is why I'm here.
Okay.
Yeah.
So are you like still angry with me?
No, definitely not.
Okay. You dislike me still?
Ian openly admits his hatred. Hatred, simmering for years. He thrives on it, using that rage as fuel, still plotting to this day. Yet he's caught off guard because someone like Sam is willing to confront emotions head on and hash things out right then and there. It feels more like a therapy session Ian desperately needs to have with his own father instead.
Who cares if a snake bit you? Why did you get upset when I dropped the dresser?
Ian is dripping with the exact same toxic energy he unleashed in Content Cop. He's just traded his funny, sadistic, blunt candor for hypocrisy. No goody two-shoes here, no reborn, dramatic metamorphosis, just a nerdy, beta, pathetic mess, stuck in some twisted middle ground. But neither of them know how to behave, really. They're a codependent disaster with zero self-control.
Puts the thing out, and he screws every single...
Oh, that is probably the best line describing them I've ever heard. They're a codependent disaster with lack of self-control. I think that's what she said, but it was just, I don't know, perfect explanation.
He screws real good touring, all the business professionals who are making this event with him. He screws me. He screws every other boxer. Everyone was screwed from Ian's dumb video because he couldn't wait 2 months.
On the bright side, they don't have children, so they're not messing up their kids. They're just messing up each other's lives and anyone who does business with them, basically. And thank goodness for that, because if someone can't even realize that taking explicit photos in their own home with identifiable backgrounds puts them at serious risk of being doxxed and worse, how can they be trusted to understand the importance of protecting their own children? Your home should be a private, sacred space, your sanctuary, your castle.
I don't think we're having kids. Do you think we're having kids?
If life gets easier.
That is 100% her choice right there. I think he wants to have kids, and I don't think she does. I guarantee if these two had kids, their whole outlook on everything they believe would change. Full stop. Because most people who have kids understand a lot of the concerns that conservatives end up having, It's not until you have kids that you realize why it's important to have a gun in your home, or why it's important to, that laws are abided by and that you keep dangerous people off the streets. Because God forbid they ever hurt my children, Let's hope I mean, it's at the end of the day, I think everybody should have a kid. I think it's a beautiful part of life, and it's probably one of the greatest gifts that God's ever given me is having a child. But at the same time, I guess some people probably shouldn't have kids. But I do think that it would be good for them to have that responsibility. It's not like having a dog. It's way different, The dog doesn't care if you yell at it one day. Kids do. Kids get upset about it, as Ian knows. But I'm gonna stop the video here. Okay, there's another 5 minutes. I'm gonna suggest that you guys go check out Mosty Peaceful Puppets. She's got a lot of cool stuff on her channel. I'm going to show you guys a couple other, just give you a quick look at her. She did a great video on Bill Burr about 6 months ago. She posted the video 9 days ago about Anissa and Idubbz. She did a good video on Cobra, Joe Rogan stuff. She got all kinds of stuff in here that is interesting, so go check her out.